Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nenna, and today I am here with an episode of the Pleasant family. I am thinking of doing an episode maybe on everyone in this town. For some reason, I am hooked on the storyline of these Sims. I've never ever been this invested. After playing with the Broke family, I guess it just spiraled out of control. Now I just want to play with everyone. Daniel Pleasant is at home. He made himself a bowl of cereal. He's very culinary skilled. Enjoying the peace and quiet for as long as it lasts. He's currently waiting for his romance, his side boo to come in from work, and she's gonna clean the house and then you know, clean some other things. Few dust particles off someone's peen. If you're not familiar with the Pleasant family, here we have Daniel Pleasant, his wife Mary Sue, Angela Pleasant, and Lilith Pleasant. I have twin girls. Mom and dad work. It's just, oh, right on time, there is the maid. I feel like I want to start this morning with a cup of coffee and a gift from Mr. Humble. Because when you give gifts to everyone in the neighborhood, it really doesn't feel as special anymore, does it? Have a cup of coffee while the maid starts her duty, and so, man, nothing was dirty in this house. Now that I'm done with work, would you like to hang out? Of course we're gonna say yes to that. One of the things he really wants is to have 3 lovers at once. Pleasant, Daniel Pleasant is a serial romantic sim, so he's not a family man, and he definitely does not want to stay with one person. Just being committed is not exactly something he wants. Now, he does have a fear to fall out of love with Mary Sue, and he's afraid of the death of her as well, so he's very afraid of the reaction of his wife to ever finding out what has happened with him and the maid, but at the same time, it's not that serious enough for him to stop it. So he's driven by the force of nature, as I like to say it, and he's putting his entire family at risk here by he's hyped on coffee, he's shaking, or he's either he's very nervous or he's hyped on hyped on coffee and caffeine. I think he has too much caffeine. This boy is shaking. There's a lot that I want to say about this family, because there are some things that I've noticed and that I'm noticing right as we're playing this. Remember that he hasn't actually woohooed. Oh no, what? Okay, hold hold up. He had his very first woohoo with Mary after. Okay, hold up. So many things happening. But he has his very first woohoo with Mary after he's had kids? Okay. Controller has a stack of paperwork on his desk that Mary Sue has been asked to read through and assign priority levels to task. About halfway through the stack, she finds some speeches that the controller has been asked to edit. Mary Sue has an okay eye for syntax, and she knows how busy the controller is, so she could try editing them herself or scan the speeches into her word processor, run the grammar check on them. How about we just do a grammar check? Let's see. Sue is fired for her mistake. Great. This is just this is a lovely day. Just such a lovely day. Daniel here has a few bad wishes. So he got rejected for his very first kiss by Mary, which is quite funny, but sometime later they Oh, right, okay. For a second I was like, who is that? But that's his sister, Jennifer. So he kissed his sister, This is turning very disturbing. Anyway, sometime after being rejected for their kiss, he went steady with her. He got himself a job. He fell in love with her, got promotion, but then he got engaged and married. 2 very dark times in his life. However, the engagement of his sister didn't really bother him that much, so I mean, you know, that's very relatable, I guess. Parents then died. He had another promotion. Angela grew well. Lilith grew up badly. And then he somehow, after he's been having an affair with the maid for about, when the twins were children, he actual affair. He's been with her for quite some time now, which is pretty disturbing, because the Pleasant family looks like a very nice family, like a family that's very like very sweet, nothing really goes on. Everyone just knows about the twins and really liking each other, but for the rest, everything just seems so normal. Even her name, Mary Sue, is rather normal. But getting fired, she actually got demoted, but there's other things that I want for her, but I guess I'll just, you know, hit on to that later on. So I'm gonna have her go to the bathroom. Now, it doesn't look like she has noticed that, oh, okay, never mind. She has noticed, in fact. That escalated really quickly. So Mary has walked in on Daniel with the maid, and I'm quite surprised on how long it has taken her to figure this out, because like I said, they have been together for quite some time. Like the maid and Daniel have been at it for quite a long time. Like ever since the twins were children, which is quite a few years since they are teenagers and they are about to be adults in about 10 days. So they've been at it for like 20 days, which is like a long time, you know, like maybe like 10 years. That's a pretty long time to have an affair with the maid. And I love how he doesn't give one shit and he's just like heading straight upstairs. The maid has no chill either. She's just like sitting right there, just minding her own business. And now the kids are coming home from school as well. It's just no clue their dad actually cheated. I don't actually think they know that their dad cheated. No, they didn't. So a part of me is like, I spare them this, but at the same time, maybe I shouldn't spare them this, because the kids don't exactly have the best relationship, and mind you, not with each other and not with their dad. But let me just say that Daniel is also not really the type to, I don't know, to give a shit at this point. Like, I don't think he really gives a shit. He really doesn't. So Daniel and Mary do not look like the type to really sit down with their children and tell them about the things that are going on. Instead, they're acting very normal. Despite that Daniel just had an affair and Mary Sue caught them, Daniel is just playing the dad that he's always played, and Mary is just keeping up this facade in front of her guest Dustin Brooke, who is the boyfriend of Angela, of course. Actually, which was even more interesting than all of this happening right now. He actually doesn't really like Dustin very much, and I've been thinking, like, why does Daniel not like Dustin very much? But why does Mary Sue not even have a relationship with Dustin? Like, she just met him for the first time. So that leads me to believe that Daniel knew about his own, well, obviously knew about his own affair, and he's probably been at it for such a long time that when his daughter met this guy, and he was kind of like a bad guy, bad type, like he did bad, not necessarily a bad sin, but he did bad things. I think he believed that he probably was like he was. He was exactly the same kind of person, the same kind of man that he was. And because of that, because of the things he's been doing himself, he started to believe that every man around him would do exactly the same. And if he can't be faithful, nobody will be faithful. So I feel like that might be the reason why they don't have the bestest relationship. As for his relationship with his daughters, I don't think there's any reason at all. I feel like these two Sims are so obsessed with everything but the kids. They seem like the type of parents that just has a kid and then lets the maid and the nanny handle them while they focus on their career and their jobs. Mary Sue does not strike me as a time that really, as a sim that really wants children. So Mary Sue doesn't really strike me as the type that really wants to have a big family. She does have, of course, her parents, but she doesn't have any siblings, and she doesn't really seem that interested in her own children. So I feel like at one point she obviously was happy about them, and she enjoyed the time that she spent with them, and she obviously loved them, and she still loves them. It's just like she doesn't really care enough about her motherly instincts. She just doesn't have a lot of motherly instincts, so she doesn't really care in that sense. Like, people who don't really have motherly instincts do love their children. I'm sure they wanted their children at one point, if it was even planned. It's hard to say, but to be honest, it's just not something they really love spending all their time and energy in. They love their kids, but they rather want some self-sufficient people in the house. They don't really want to go through the effort of really raising them, I guess. As I said earlier, I don't really feel like Mary Sue and Daniel are the type of Sims that would really make a big hassle out of everything that's happening. And I'm sure that Mary Sue on the inside is waiting for the kids to go to bed and give them a big lecture. Like I said, I don't feel like either of them have really big parenting, maternal instincts, like family, I don't know, like the maternal feeling. I just don't get that with them. But they have some respect, I guess, for their children and for their lives, so they wouldn't necessarily hang their dirty laundry like right in the middle of the living room when Dustin is around. Like, I don't think they really, I don't know, I just don't really feel like they are the type of people that would just, like, Mary doesn't strike me as the type of person that would just break up with Daniel right there in front of their children. I feel like she would probably try to talk it out. Like, she just hits me like a very simple sim that would probably stay with her man even if he cheats on her, just for the sake of having a man. Or maybe I'm totally wrong. I just don't really know what type of sim Mary Sue is right now. Like, she doesn't seem to have any bad things, like any bad ones. I know it sounds really weird, but like, she just got cheated on by Dan, right? I'm gonna call him Dan. So she just got cheated on by Dan, and all she really cares about is get a promotion, and she wants to earn more money, and she wants to be best friends with him again. So instead of actually taking responsibility and saying, look, Dan, you fucked up, asking Dan to sort out his mess and, you know, break it up with the maid, instead she's more focused on her career and just wanting to befriend Dan, because that's just what's more important to her right now. And that speaks volume. Her appearance to other people, her appearance to everyone, and her work are just in front of everyone. And Daniel, he doesn't care either. He's just afraid to not be in love with Mary anymore, but he is, for the rest, not even bothered by anything he's done. In fact, he wants to do it even more. He wants to get more lovers. He wants to basically cheat on her like 2 more times. And I feel like, and maybe you guys gonna hate me for this, but Mary, like I said, she's not the type to break up with him, right? So she's gonna let him, and he's probably gonna take advantage of that and break up with, not break up, but have to go through this betrayal 2 more times. And then what? Is she finally gonna get fed up with it, or is she just still going to stay with him for no damn reason? Now, there's a lot of things going on between Lilith and Angela as well. And as much as I try to kind of, you know, get things to be a little bit better between them, I find it very, very hard. And I'm trying to figure out, like, why do they hate each other so much? Like, what's wrong with them? Like, what has happened in their life? Sisters? I mean, at this point, I feel like they're not even sisters. They just feel like strangers to me. Like, they're just strangers to one another. There's actually quite a lot that I want to talk about in this family, and something else is that he wants to become a professional party guest, and he's been in the wrong career his entire life, because it seems like he would be he would do the best in the slacker career, which is not the one that he's in right now. He's in the athletic career. But I'm also noticing that he becomes an elder in 4 days, and honestly, as much as I don't really know Daniel very well, I feel like he doesn't deserve to be happy. And I know that sounds really bad of me, but just hear me out. He doesn't really seem to show much interest in the kids, right? He cheats on his wife multiple times. He doesn't even want to get married to his wife, yet he did. And he's gonna take advantage of Mary Sue's goodness and just keep on doing what the fuck he's doing. I honestly feel like this man does not deserve to be happy at all. So I don't give a fuck if he's in the wrong career or if he's, I don't know. I just don't really care about him very much. And I feel like once he's aged up, I don't know. I just don't really know what I want to do with him. But like I said, I feel like Mary Sue would not even kick him out even if he keeps on cheating. So I'm not exactly sure what to do with them yet. Now, Mary Sue was also aging up in about 6 days, and she's also in the wrong career. She wants to become a city planner. Now, unlike Daniel here, I actually want her to have a good life. So what I'm gonna do for her is get her into the right career. She is a campaign worker. She makes about 300. I'm not sure what level that is, but I think that might be level 3 or 4. So I'm just gonna cheat a little bit and put her in level 3 or 4. Now I can honestly understand Lilith and Angela very well. Like, I feel like I am both of Lilith and Angela, and that may sound a little bit weird, but there's just a few things that I recognize in these two Sims as well. I feel like this family is just so messed up in so many ways, and like, we're not even ready for this. Just got her a job in the architecture career. It's about 155, so I'm gonna have to adjust that. I don't really want her to lose the job that she has, or the progress that she has, so what I'm gonna do is just help her out a little bit and set her career level to about 4. That should be, yeah, like 300, 400. So I'm not too mad about that. Man, look at Mary Sue looking at me like, what the fuck did you just do to me, girl? So despite that I said that Mary Sue would not really care much about breaking up with him, and she would probably stay with him and whatever not, I do feel like she has been hurt. She has feelings and she's not okay with what he's doing. But Daniel is probably the type of sim that could very well smooch his way right up to be where he wants to be. So he could potentially just promise her all these things. Like, he would never do that again. It was just a one-time thing. They just haven't had much like love in their relationship. He was very needy. They just need to spend more time together and they could just fix themselves. And what about the kids? Like, it's like the type of sim that has a lot of good promises, and he has a lot of things that he can say to Mary that she would just fall completely for it. He just, honestly, this guy does not care at all. He just does not give one fuck. And unless Mary has a wand to really break up with him, I'm not even gonna do it, you know? I feel like it should come from her, from within her, and if she cannot bring herself to dump him, then why should I make her do it? You know what I mean? Like, if this may just be how these Sims are. They're very typical. They're very disturbed. They're very a family that's very messed up. They don't really tolerate each other's shit, but they don't fix each other's shit, and they'd rather be together and have a really messed up family life than fix their shit and just dump each other and leave each other. Like, their appearance to the outside world is so incredibly important, and that's exactly why I can't fucking deal with. But now let's just talk about Lilith for a second. Lilith has a few memories. She has a memory that her sister did well, but that she didn't do well. And then she made a friend, she made Derek, and she had, you know, someone that related to her. And then Angela grew up well, and she didn't grow up that good. And then she had her very first kiss. She snuck out with Derek. She got busted, but she also went steady with Derek, and she loved him and shit like that. She had one positive thing in her life, and that was Derek. That was Derek Dreamer, this boy here. Which, mind you, Derek Dreamer's dad is actually also having an affair. Because he doesn't have a wife, I suppose. Okay, so I guess he's not having an affair. But because Derek's mother died, right? But his dad has multiple girlfriends. I'm pretty sure Derek knows this. And I think one of the reasons why the relationship between Lilith and her mom and her dad is so poor, even her sister, but her sister has like a different twist. I feel like their relationship is so incredibly poor because she can see through the family dynamic. She knows their bullshit. She knows things that Angela doesn't know, because Angela was always the favorite child. She was always very sweet and very innocent, and she learned things really easily. If you take a look at her memory, she was potty trained by Daniel. She learned to walk. She learned to talk. She grew up well. She did a bunch of things that Lilith could just never do. She was very fortunate to be a very sweet child, a very sweet toddler, a very sweet baby, whereas Lilith was a bit more of a fussy baby, so naturally they left her a bit behind and they focused more of their attention on Lilith. And then by the time that Lilith could have done well, they just influenced her so poorly that she just didn't want to try anymore, because it doesn't matter what she did. Angela would always be seen as the best twin. her rivalry twin, the twin she could never be better off. And it's just so fucking disappointing to see that this is the family dynamic. And she's the only one that really doesn't seem to care about the family dynamic as much. Like, she doesn't give a fuck. She doesn't give a fuck if she hates her parents, hates her sisters. She has a boy that loves her, and that's literally all she needs. She even likes Dustin. Like, come on. At least she doesn't really hate anyone, you know? She doesn't really care about anything. She just wanted to be approved. She wanted her parents' approval, and she wanted love, and she couldn't get either. So instead of trying to fit in, she's acting out and just telling everyone exactly how it is. One of the things she loves to do the most is just to spend some time by herself when everyone is asleep. Now, I don't really want to do this, but there is no other way. I'm gonna have to make him sleep in Lilith's bed, which I'm pretty sure if she knew, she would give him hell for it. But let's just assume that she doesn't know, and that she's just going to, you know, I don't know, but whatever. So like I said, I don't think Lilith is a bad person. In fact, she's actually a very sweet person. If we take a look at her personality, she's just a little bit grumpy. She's a bit more serious than her sister. She's very active. She's very sloppy and shy, and her sister is a little bit more neat, but she's more playful and more nice, something that I guess has helped her throughout her life. Angela just knows how to get her parents' attention, and Angela tries to really make it work. I'm not so sure what Dan is doing right now. It doesn't look like he can sleep. He was gonna get himself some juice, but Lilith stole his juice. So I'm going to sit down and I don't know, try to have a conversation with Lilith. Now, I know Lilith and Dan do not have the best relationship. In fact, I don't think there's any relationship at all, and I really don't know how to make the relationship any better. And at this point, should we really want this? She does not want any of his shit, to be honest. She's just not into it. I just don't know, you know? It's still her dad, it's still her family, but look at the way that Daniel's just talking to his daughter when she tries to share her hobbies. He's just like, nah, I just know, no, you can't do this, I don't like this. There's just no room for her own self, her own being, and I don't know, he doesn't even want to like spend any time with her, and it's fucking sad. I just really don't like it. I'm gonna have him do his addiction, and Lilith is gonna go over here and yeah, just have a bit of her dance session by herself. Dancing is one of the things that she does love doing, and it's the one thing that makes her happy, so why should I deny her of that? I am honestly surprised that she is still in this household. I feel like it would be the best if she just got the fuck out. Now, she's one of the ones to go to college, and she wants to gain a skill point. If we took a look at her skills, she has no skills. So I think, like, I want her to feel a bit more comfortable with herself, and I want her to do some things that will get her out of this house. I feel like staying in this house is just not good for anyone, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like Lilith deserves better. Maybe what I really want for Lilith is to move out and move in with his with her boyfriend, but at the same time, I do not feel like Derek is the type that would leave his dad because they do have a good relationship. But maybe Lilith can actually move in with Derek. That would be so nice if Lilith and Derek could be together. At the same time, I feel like she could be a very independent person, actually. She doesn't have a job, so one of the things I'm going to do is I know she's not feeling her life right now. Honestly, she's not. But I feel like the things she needs to do in order to get out of this house are exactly the things she doesn't like to do. Her family doesn't really bother with her anyway. I bet instead of encouraging her, they would probably just mock her and be like, oh yeah, you're doing your homework, like what are you up to now? I just feel like they have such a dysfunctional relationship. I'm not even exaggerating, I just feel like this is exactly the kind of relationship they have. And then I also feel like she needs a job so she can get herself some money and to start working towards her own life, which is of course very important. Now let's take a look at what she wants. So we don't actually have, oh, she wants to get into the journalism career. Okay, so that's fun. One of the things that I recently downloaded was, I need to find it 1 second, is this. Does she have a desk? The fact that, just the fact that her sister has a desk and she doesn't is just fucking annoying. So I'm just gonna have her claim a place at the table. because there's not really another place. This is a journal. This is a novel, actually. And I know journalism isn't exactly the same as being an author, but I feel like she needs to work on her writing skills, and that could definitely get her, you know, to practice a little bit with for the thing that she really wants. But and that could get her, I think that could get her a skill as well. I'm not sure. Okay, well, she's not in the mood for that. I would not be in the mood for that either, to be honest. Let's get her into a job, and then we'll just, she doesn't want to get a job. Okay, fuck that. Okay, well, how about we play a little bit then? Things are going like really well for Angela, might I say. Like everything is just going really well in her life. She has somewhat of her parents' attention. They don't have the best relationship, but because she gets the positive attention, if there's any attention, she gets positive attention. And when she does something, she gets like a half-assed, oh yeah, you did this well, like, oh, he wanted to kiss her, so I'm gonna do it myself. But I feel like because they always give her the small things that they don't give Lilith, she feels rather important. She got this sense of self-importance because of the way that she's been raised, and that doesn't mean that she doesn't see what's going on. I feel like she's putting up a front herself, and she is acting out in a way as well. Like she is a very sweet sim, like don't get me wrong, I feel like she's a very nice girl. But I've always wondered, like, why would she invite Justin over to sneak out? Like, why would this girl that's called sweet would do those kind of things? And if she's such a good sim, like, why does she want to do bad things? And that made me feel like, or it made me think more so that Angela is probably not exactly what she looks as well. She, in a way, resents her parents. She's mad at her parents. She's mad that she can't get what she wants, and she can't really get her parents' full attention. I mean, I'm sure Angela knows that there's something going on in this household, but she's the type of person that just rather pretend that everything is fine, and as long as she gets a little bit of attention, she's like totally okay with everything. However, like I said, Lilith is not, because Lilith acts out and doesn't shut her mouth. She is like the boogeyman of the family, whereas Angela just plays along and does well, and secretly behind her parents' back does things like sneaking out and doing things that she really isn't supposed to do. She seems like such a sweet girl. That's just the vibe I'm getting. Maybe it's a lot of information, but that's just the vibe I'm getting, you guys. I don't know if it's true or not. Alright, so what did she want again? She wanted to get in the journalism career. I don't know if that's on the computer or not, but we'll see. Alright, so I'm gonna have to help her just a little bit. Let's get this tree, and then we'll do careers, teen elder career, journalism. Take the job, and then let's go to school as much as we don't want to. Actually, fuck that. We're so close to her homework. Okay, fuck. Why is there always something like bugged out or in the way? Like, do you guys understand my pain? Like, why is there always something and not exactly going the way it wants to go or should go? We were super close to finishing the homework, but I guess it's not gonna happen. She's gonna go to school, and that's just that, unfortunately. And I think that's my cue to end things here. I want to thank you guys so much for watching my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next part. If you want a next part of this Let's Play, please do let me know. I don't know, I just feel like playing with them sometimes, so give me your confirmation, whatever. Anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next part. Bye!